The final game at historic Highmark, a high point for the Buffalo Bills. Played 52 seasons in that building, some legends on hand, including Jim Kelly, Josh Allen making his final start for Buffalo at Highmark. First play of the game, Allen hands it off to James Cook for a 10-yard gain, and that secures his 122nd regular season start, longest active streak in the NFL, and you can pop those pretty tops. That was it for Allen. We'd see Mitch Trubisky, and man, we could have seen Brian McFadden playing quarterback in this game, and the Jets still wouldn't have had a chance.
I've never played quarterback before.
Yeah, Joe, you never see him throw before.
Just run the ball then. Hits Dawson Knox because Aaron Glenn's Jets don't have much fight left in them. Jets defense, still no interceptions this season. A chance.
That was the one.
To avoid infamy.
Oh, they had a better one later.
No team has ever ended a season with 0 interceptions.
I think this one it. Oh, he had the
One
club.
team will end the season with 0 interceptions. The Jets, just one hand short. Maybe the story of the season. Trubisky trying to get his guys into the end zone here. Middle of the third quarter.
Up top.
Big time catch. Gabe Davis
hauling in that rebound. Finished with 259 yards passing and 4 passing touchdowns. Did Trubisky, as he's the player that will have his fingerprints all over this final game at Highmark as the Bills clinch the 6th seed in the AFC. 35-8 is your final. Buffalo going on the road for playoff football, where they will face the Jacksonville Jaguars in the first round in Duval. As for the Jets, no interceptions, just 4 total takeaways this season, and nearly the most points allowed in a single season in franchise history. Back in studio with the fellas, Jonathan Jones, Joe Musso, Bryant McFadden, Patrick Peterson, and guys, we've talked about it for about the last month now. You're going to accidentally run into an interception. They almost accidentally run into a couple here. Again, Buffalo is your storyline. They are your 6th seed moving forward to playoff football. But as for the Jets, maybe more pertinent right now, Mac, is the question of who is best fit to lead this team moving forward? Because you hire a defensive head coach. This team defensively gives up 503 points, the second most in a season in franchise history, forces no interceptions and 4 total takeaways. How do you move forward thinking that Aaron Glenn might be that guy?
That's a great question, because out of all the years, the previous years that we've watched bad football from the Jets organization, this might be the worst.
Yeah.
This might be the worst. You talk about having a record-setting season in the wrong direction, not a positive record being placed, bad records that will be associated with the New York Jets. It's hard to really understand when you have a defensive-minded head coach who played in the National Football League as a guy who took the football away, as a guy who's been a part of really stout defensive units. We saw the total opposite. And that's the thing for Jets fans to fathom. Over the last few years, in the midst of bad football, your defense has been serviceable. Your defense has brought fight. They've been competitive in moments. This season, not one moment they were competitive. I mean, the last 5 games, they allowed 37 points. Average, that's what they allowed. And you look at how they finished the season. 35 today to Mitchell Trubisky, by the way. Josh Allen played just to keep his start stat going. Mitchell Trubisky carved you up for 4 touchdowns. Last week, Drake May came out in the third quarter. They dropped 42. The week before that, Tyler Shuck dropped 29. I mean, it's almost like do whatever you want to do against this New York Jets defensively. I don't know, to answer your question, Joe. I mean, this is something that, you know, they have to think about. I think financially, I know JJ knows a little bit about that more so than I do. Financially, would it be best to fire Aaron Glenn and go the opposite direction? And it's a small sample size.
You're going to pay a coach to not do his job in that case. You have to wonder if that is what Woody Johnson and ownership is entertaining right now. Certainly, the idea is being mulled. We don't know yet where they will land, but some of this is unforgivable for a defensive-minded head coach.
So I'll tell you what I can report, and that is that there have been no substantive conversations with Woody Johnson and anyone of import regarding Aaron Glenn not returning in 2026. Could a billionaire owner somehow change his mind over time? Sure, but I have gotten no indication that the Jets would move on from Aaron Glenn, and it was almost irrespective of what it looked like out there on the field tonight, and it didn't look good. They are paying Aaron Glenn reportedly about $12 million per year over 5 years. So if you were to fire Aaron Glenn, you owe him the rest of that, right? That's a lot of money. That'd be a whole lot of money for an owner to pay someone to not work for them. He's also a former New York Jet. He was also one of the top picks this past year in a very crowded and competitive head coaching group of candidates. And the last point that I would make is that Aaron Glenn has made mention many times about how Dan Campbell was patient with him when he could have been fired after his first year. Now, Aaron Glenn did not offer that same patience to Steve Wilkes. He fired him after that Jacksonville game, and it appeared that the defense somehow got worse. But when you consider that they did not have a quarterback, they hoped for Justin Fields, didn't work out. Tyrod Taylor wasn't going to work out. That they traded away Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner, so the defense wasn't going to have a chance of being good after they traded them away. But of course, they weren't very good before that. It does appear that Aaron Glenn will be back, regardless of whether anyone here thinks that he should be back.
Yeah, I think Aaron Glenn will be back, but this was a bad loss to a backup team from the Buffalo Bills. 30 first downs, 470 yards total offense, 211 yards on the ground, and still no interceptions.
What does that say about the effort? What does that say about the willingness? I get it. You traded away your best players on both sides of the ball. You have a wide receiver that we haven't seen go for a minute. You have Sauce gone. You have big fella in the middle gone. You have all of these excuses to say, hey, we're just at a talent deficit. But effort-wise, what have you seen from the Jets?
The effort haven't been there as well. And that, to me, that falls back on the head coach. And that's where the head coach is going to have to do, obviously the season's over now, but have to do a good job of getting his guys in there, guys who understand how he want to move things forward, how he want to orchestrate his defense, how he want his guys to be represented as a New York Jet.
Yeah, and when you talk about effort, we knew this would be a talent problem for the Jets this season, especially when they traded away some of their top defenders in Sauce and Quentin Williams. But when you look at other teams around the National Football League, they have talent issues as well.
Yeah.
But they're still scrappy. They're still competing.
Yep.
Even with the Raiders, right? They're competing against the Kansas City Chiefs. And granted, the Kansas City Chiefs missing some starters, but they're not laying down. You look at the New Orleans Saints, look at how Kellen Moore has turned around their viewpoint with their team and finding ways to be scrappy and compete. That's the first telling sign for a bad team if the coach still has a hold on the locker room. Are they fighting? Are they scrapping? If you lose, it's one thing. But if you lose swinging, and you might not connect, but we see you swinging, that's one thing. They're not even swinging
And
in New York.
That's one of the things that owners want to see when their team is not in the best position possible. Are the guys still out there fighting? Are the guys still out there executing to the best of their ability? And I think that's what's going to be the common denominator when it's time to make that decision about Aaron Glenn here probably in the next couple of days.
Nothing left to fight for the Jets as their season comes to a close. Another one to forget. Worst record in first season as a head coach. This doesn't help him out either. 3-14 in his first go-around at the helm. Aaron Glenn at the Jets, grounded.